employees, one in particular, who was recognized tonight with an award for cost-saving ideas. And that was one of the factors used in him getting a bonus for several years now in a row. So that it's flexible. It can be used for that purpose, but I think it's actually better than having a incentive for just a specific purpose of cost savings. In my mind, the bonuses should be able to be issued for more than just that purpose. And so our program allows that possibility. As far as the comparison with salaries nationwide isn't our job market. Our comparison should be more whatever our job market is in Utah or Davis County and that kind of thing. And we've tried to select the cities we compare ourselves with within a range that seems to make sense. You can direct that population be changed, survey population of cities be something different than the ones I showed on that page that I gave you. You also have the ability to decide, in my opinion, you don't compare actual salaries with actual salaries. That's why because you don't take into account the years of experience in the position or any of that. That's why I say you compare the midpoint of the pay range with the midpoint of the pay range of your competition. Now, if you feel that the target is too generous, that we're trying to get into that third quartile, then you have the power as a council to direct that, well, we don't want to try to do better than average, we want to just be average. And that's a discussion you can have and a directive you can make. As far as an audit, accountability audit of everything, all departments, a full accountability audit of every department, I mean, his statement was so broad and comprehensive that in my opinion, you can't afford something that extensive. If you want to have an audit or review of some aspects of the city or certain functions or activities or that type of thing, you ought to be identifying what it is you're concerned about and targeting in on that, because full compliance audit, efficiency audit, and effectiveness audit will cost a lot of money, and in my opinion wouldn't be justified. It ought to be a more targeted approach if there are areas of concern. Those are my thoughts.
You know, probably having heard your presentation last time and frankly being impressed with what you've done, probably one of us should have responded to that comment. And so unless there's a reason not to kind of outline what we're doing, since I happen to know the person who made it fairly well, I would be inclined to outline some of the things that we're doing. And I guess the other thing is that you've got I don't remember what it's called, but it's some kind of an efficiency study or operational metrics that are being done.
That's something that Paul started at the beginning of his tenure.
Yeah, I can share that with Mark. Mark is in my neighborhood, and we have frequent conversations about the efficiency of the federal government and all other governments. So, if you would talk to him, that'd be great. I'm sure he'll talk to me.
I'll maybe share some thoughts and I'll copy you on what I share with him, because I can only imagine where he's coming from, and it's some kind of a frustrated position, I guess.
I really do like the incentive ideas, even if it's that we gave them a small percentage of whatever savings that they were able to save the city. I do think that really saves private industry a lot of money when they offer that.
Better be careful if we start doing that for Randy, though.
Yeah.
We'd have to make it a very, and not that I'm absolutely in favor of efficiency increases, but we have to be careful because sometimes spending less money isn't
getting
right
more
choice. You're not, you're
But that is,
you're
we're not
possibly
saying that we'll do anything
degrading
if they brought up an idea that we thought was going to or that would prove to be successful. I mean, we would need to say, yeah, that's good, we're going to try it. And if it's successful, and we may say to them, yeah, that's a great idea, but we're losing efficiency, so we're not going to try it, or we're
Sure.
losing service to our citizens. So it wouldn't be open to anybody that, you know, come up with any
Right.
idea. It's got to be an idea that we accept as, yes, we want to try that, and we try it, and if we save money.
And my thoughts are just in response in general to the comment that got made, that cost savings is always a fantastic thing, efficiency is always a fantastic thing, but sometimes you lose something of greater value. So just keeping that in mind.
Great. Given the time, I'd suggest we move on. I'm not aware of a need for a closed meeting.
Oh, no.
Then I'll motion to adjourn to the RDA.
Before we adjourn to the RDA, I'd like, I have an appointment that needs to be made. If you could hold off on that for one
Well,
moment.
nobody seconded it, so we're good.
Paul Smith has consented to serve another term on the museum board. So I'd like someone to authorize a motion to reappoint Paul Smith to an additional term on the museum board and to approve former Mayor Mike Deemer as a member of the Community Foundation Board. If somebody would make that motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm also looking for someone on the Trails Committee, if you know of someone who wants to participate in that. Thank you, and I'd look for a motion to adjourn to RDA.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
A motion to adjourn to an RDA meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're in an RDA meeting. Find the right notes. I believe we have some minutes to approve.
Yes. Very brief.
Yes, look for a motion to approve the February 16th RDA minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have a summary of the RDA commitments.
Sorry, you guys are too fast. Who made the motion and seconded?
He motioned, I seconded.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll hold up little flags next time.
Yeah, it's getting late.
It is.
You go faster after 10 o'clock.
So do you want an explanation of these balances here? And I think the key thing is to understand that the Parish Lane Gateway RDA, which has been primarily the source of funds over the years, has been loaning money to the west side to do all these projects. It will eventually get repaid once the west side starts generating increment. But you can see there's a significant amount of $295,000 roughly that basically has been loaned to the west side to work on projects over the next little while.
Well, there's actually, over the life of those two project areas on the west side, there's more money than that has been expended because we spent money to create those areas through consulting services from Lewis Young and engineering services and so forth. So the page is specific to those two west side project areas, the Legacy Crossing project area and the Bernard Creek project area, show that there's actually, in the case of the Legacy Crossing, due back to the Parish Lane Gateway project area, $283,000, and back from the Bernard Creek project area, $131,000. So those are monies that eventually will be repaid to the Parish Lane Gateway project area. And that payback's going to come in part after the Parish Lane Gateway project no longer is collecting tax increment. But fortunately, I mean, we're still in a positive cash position with the RDA, with the Parish Lane Gateway project area, despite having made those loans over there. And despite, even after taking into account these numbers on the Parish Lane Gateway project page, these numbers that we're using as estimates of current commitments, if you will, things that are unfolding now, the pedestrian bridge fencing and Parish Lane fencing, the $120,000. The Parish Gateway Maverick site, the cost share, the $40,000 there is $30,000, roughly speaking, $30,000 for our 50% share of the improvement cost, and another $10,000 for some concrete work that's already been done, and landscape architect fees and that kind of thing. I just used a rounded number of $40,000. Legacy Trail connection, that $50,000. There is some basis to that. I won't say that is not necessarily a final number of our contribution. Ours could be less or more. I'm hoping less. There is a rational way I got to that $50,000. I don't know that you want to take time tonight on it. We have not yet negotiated a cost sharing with Fred Hill for the cost of that trail connection. But I'm thinking $50,000 I'm hoping that's topside, based on the rationale that I can explain to you at some point. Parish Gateway southeast corner sign, I didn't put a number in there, but it'll be a few thousand perhaps for our share of that, beyond what Hogan donates. The Bernard Creek, $85,000. That shows up over here on the Bernard Creek page. That's something we haven't yet spent, but that was the subject of, was that on tonight? No. I guess that's going to be on your April 5th, or was that last time?
No.
Did we already approve that? You don't remember that yet, do you? So that's probably your April 5th agenda. You'll be approving an agreement with the county for cost sharing the Bernard Creek culvert. So the point of doing this is to help you have a foundation. And so hang on to these pages, or you'll be able to come back to them in the future online as we talk about funding these various things from RDA money. But I wanted to get it in front of you tonight because we are asking you to fund the landscape architect services that you approved earlier. And so that's what I would recommend, that you authorize RDA funding in the amount of $4,700 for the contract pertaining to the southwest corner, and an additional $500, up to $500 for hourly fees relating to the sign on the southeast corner.
So moved.
Second.
So we moved and seconded, the RDA approved the funding for the MGB plus A contract as stated, $4,700 plus up to $500 for the sign consulting. Any further discussion?
So we do have the limit on that then?
So we have a limit
Okay.
on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I said aye.
That passes unanimously.
No extension.
No abstention. If anybody's interested afterwards, I can tell you why I abstained.
Sure.
Would you abstain from a motion to adjourn from RDA?
No.
Motion to adjourn from RDA.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
All right. We beat 11 o'clock.
Better and better.
Please let